Nocturne mid, and it's a serious topic. We're gonna leave it to the casters and see what the final weekend of the regular season will bring.
Thank you, Shocks. Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Drakos here. Oh, God. Someone wrote me Danish. Elgen pa frifood. Darn it. Martin Deficio? No. How do I say? What is that, and how do I say that?
Let's scroll up the prompt a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta give him a chance to read.
Yeah,
Bring us back. Bring us
So
back.
it says,
we still got a minute. We got time.
Okay,
folks.
so I'll translate it for you. El is moose.
Got it.
And then it's på fri fod.
På frifo.
It's loose.
It's loose.
Fod means your foot. And remember when there's a D in Danish words and it's not the start, you kind of have to like bleh when you say it. So fod.
All right, what's the moose on the loose? It's the
There
same in
you go.
English, a little different in Danish, but here he is, Martin Deficio. I'm ready. I'm excited about this game. Potential for Nocturne mid. We can talk about that more if it happens. Otherwise,
I pro built Nocturne. All the last week, on pro builds, it's all with Smite. And I don't believe you're on Smite in Nocturne mid.
Funnel kind of died, Deficio. Otherwise,
It
you might
did
believe.
die.
Of course, the fans are ready. It's pick and ban. 8:15. The bans are standard so far, but the question
I mean,
is
we had
on
one ban.
everyone's mind, Deficio. Yes. And one ban was all it would take if he banned Garen. We'd know what
That's
kind
fair.
of game we were in
That's
store
fair.
for.
I absolutely love the statement, though. Standard ban so far.
One
Rise got
ban in.
banned.
We're 3 bans in. It's still standard.
It's
Now,
so standard.
I talked to the teams in the makeup room. We were hanging out, having a good time. Caedrel said, man, I wanted to troll. My coach said no. So veteran, looks like he wants to take this one seriously. I didn't speak to Sheepy, but I assume he has a similar mentality. Teams, they want to end looking strong. They want to show what they've got on stage. But we'll see how pick and ban shapes up from here, as for the most part, things are quite standard. Trundle taken away from Kold as an option. I like that as well. Akali also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, 3 of the very standard red side bans for unicorns. Nocturne mid lane. It's left open.
That is a Nocturne.
It has Ghost and Cleanse.
Ghost Cleanse isn't inspiring, but the rest of it, I'm excited. I want to see where the Nocturne is. I assume it's going to be in the jungle so far. We'll assume it's a standard pick ban because Nocturne is a very standard, very powerful meta pick at the moment.
It's true. Now I want to see if Unicorn's going to answer with like a bunch of bruisers, stuff that can deny Nocturne from one-shotting people, because that's where we see Nocturne actually be kind of useless in some of the games. Like, he's one of those champions where he either looks fantastic and it feels like he's just going to carry the whole thing, or he jumps in, can't actually one-shot someone, he just dies because he can only go one way, which is forward. Tahm, Kench, Sejuani is 2 great answers already to what a Nocturne wants to actually do.
Nice bit of interruption to have, good synergy between the 2 champions, the ability to save your allies.
Yeah, he can't really kill any of them properly, and if the Tahm Kench is next to the carriage, that's a good way to save them. Orianna, Gnar, that's the most standard. Like, you literally cannot go any more standard right now in the current meta. We obviously see Orianna as probably the safest, or one of the safest mid lane blind picks. LeBlanc blind pick, we don't see very often in Europe, even though it's become a big thing over in the LCK. And Gnar, of course.
Irelia coming out once again for Exileh. This is a pick he's been looking more and more comfortable on stage with as well. Has some nice solid interactions into this team as a whole. So many burst abilities that can be denied by the Defiant Dance. There's such a strong ability to mitigate burst, especially from a character like Orianna.
Yeah, I just want to see them play around mid lane with it. There's obviously unicorns, they like to play around Exileh already in the first place, but he's one of those Irelia players where no matter what happens in the first 10 minutes of the game, he will never stop chasing down kills. And I've seen
one of the, I don't know why you said Irelia. He's
it's
one
fair.
of any champion he plays, that is
Sure.
the Exileh way.
That is true, but like when I saw him play this last week against Rocket, I was like, yes, Exileh on Irelia, this is his kind of champion. He started off like 3-0, I was like, he's gonna carry this game completely. He then did manage to die multiple times as well, but he kept getting kills in a trade.
He went so deep, it looked good. I like the synergy with Sejuani as well, and now we're going to see how the Nocturne-Orianna duo faces up against those champions. Maybe they can just delete the Irelia before Sejuani can be a part of it. But now, as we enter the second ban phase, Braum being taken away, denying some of those tankier options for support. Varus, they don't want to give Samux kind of that comfortable laning pick, and interestingly enough, Pyke taken away. Respect to Promisq there. That's kind of a champion we'd normally expect in the hands of Totoro, but of course with Tahm Kench locked in, they just don't want to deal with it.
Alistar still available for him. Not that I think it's exactly the highest priority pick for him at the moment. Like, I always want to see range supports against Tahm Kench, but it's so risky, like picking, brand support, Zyra, these kind of things. Because while you can do well in the laning phase,
You could have listed like something that had been picked this season, like Fiddlesticks. You're like, brand Zyra.
Phil got nerfed on this patch, mate.
I know.
Heard his early game quite a lot.
But now we have the Malphite locked in.
They stole that from Smittyj.
That was the Smittyj special.
Yeah, he already had the Gnar, but still.
And I like the ability to slow down attack speed here, especially against a Nocturne, especially against a Gnar, two champions who like to have a little bit more, especially if Smittyj wants to go for the split push build.
Oh!
But Vayne,
Sheriff.
locked in.
So, let's, if we look at this, like, we said when we saw the Nocturne first pick, maybe we see just a bunch of bruisers and tanks from Unicorns, which is kind of the answer against Nocturne. Well, there are 4 of them. What is a good answer against some of these big, beefy front lines? Well, they're trying with the Vayne this time. That's,
What year
That's gonna
is
be
it?
like, you know, Art Sensor.
Lulu Vayne bottom lane? Is this 2015, 2014?
It's not the brand Zyra I was looking for, but it is a range support coming in.
I'm ready. I want to see how this matchup is going to
give me
fare.
the Samux Draven against the Vayne. Is he going to do it? He's not going to pick Ezreal. I can say that for sure.
We'll wait for that last pick. Talk to me a little bit about this bottom lane. Vayne, Lulu. What are we doing in the early game? Are we just waiting? We've got 2 scaling carries. We've got new Vayne in the Kai'Sa versus old Vayne in the Vayne.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Vayne on the professional stage in an even matchup actually win the lane super hard. It doesn't really happen for her. I do ever think like Vayne level 6, especially with the shield you're gonna get and the movement speed buff from a Lulu, like you actually gotta be careful in that lane if you're Unicorns, but they should not struggle early on. Specifically against the Vayne, but I think the Lulu pick, if they were actually just looking for someone who can try and get a bit of shove, obviously Vayne doesn't offer anything in terms of pushing the wave. She can just hit one target and it takes forever for her. So I think actually it's a fairly, like it's not going to be a huge win lane for H2k, but it's scaling.
And I want to see what Sheriff can do, because a lot of pressure now be putting on Sheriff's shoulders to kind of be that side lane split pusher once he gets a few items under his belt, or that lethal skirmish kind of carry. Maybe can even play the team fights, but against a Malphite, against an Irelia, you know that is a tough ask from the Vayne side.
We're gonna also have to see build, because I was just checking what people were doing in solo queue on Vayne specifically right now, and there are like 2 different options. The one I'm kind of thinking, because it's against a lot of tanks, is the Play the Ruin King and Rage Blade, where you're just so good at dealing with very beefy targets. But some people in solo queue have also gone things like Storm Razor first, which is like a good first item for you. It doesn't sound very good. I'm kind of expecting Blade the Ruin King plus Rage Blade in this one against the big tanks. Storm Razor obviously will be very strong again on the single item. But come on, get that extra procs in there. You gotta burn down some tanks.
Vayne. I'm ready. Let's find out.
We've seen that quite a lot. When I say a lot, the few times Vayne has been played.
It's true. Crowd is getting hyped. H2k versus the Unicorns of Love. Both teams sadly knocked out of playoffs, but looking to prove something here as they go toe-to-toe. Lot of individual picks that could style. You got the Orianna, you got the Vayne. Ooh, on the opposite side. I'm ready to see the hyper carries in the bottom lane. I'm ready to see what Exile's going to do on Irelia. Which version of Exile do we see to say? Do we see God tier, mechanical outplay Exile? Do we see over-aggressive?
You're gonna get a bit of everything. You will definitely get both sides of Exile, but I'm actually happy teams are not troll picking in this. Like, you can gamble a little bit with the Vayne pick, but I want to see Sheriff play a champ like Vayne. Like, that makes me actually excited. Exile and Irelia, the same thing.
And he has a bit of history here, because you remember when Fnatic couldn't close the game, and there was a Kassadin Vayne on the other side, and they got smacked. Who was piloting that Vayne? Well, none other than our boy Sheriff on the bottom side of the map.
All right, so give me the Blade of the Ruin King Rage Blade. Deal with the tanks. Uzi did it when he played Vayne in the start of the LPL split. He didn't really play bot lane. He could just go top.
Uzi did it. It must be right.
I mean, again,
always.
It's something, you know, with the Rage Blade we've seen.
I mean, it does give it a lot of credibility, to be fair, Uzi playing it.
Yeah. At least play the first item.
And to be fair, we're a little ways out from that first or potentially second item. But you talked about the mid lane matchup being critical. So let's check in. Exile, Kold. Do you expect him to win out here in the mid-jungle 2v2? How is this going to play out in the early game?
I think Selfie will have absolutely no problems in the 1v1. Like, he will be more than fine, and even probably push in Exile for most of it. I'm just more looking at when the jungler joins. And obviously when you're against Sejuani as well, Selfie will run Cleanse, which means it is a great first summoner to use when you see the first initial stun, but there's a follow-up stun suddenly from Exile. Or when it's on cooldown, again, you are a fairly squishy target against a lot of damage from Kold plus Exile. So I'm really interested to see how Unicorns can play around the lane. I think before anything happens, Exile will not do a whole lot, and Selfie will just control it. But typically with Irelia, what we got to see a lot when she was played, like when she was really strong before she got nerfed, was like, most lanes you wait for level 6 anyway. And once you have level 6, you know, you stack up the passive, and then because you can use the ulti to reset or get the reset on your dash, like, that's where you really look for all-ins.
And for now, the range advantage on the bottom side proving heavily in favor of H2k, allowing them to trade aggressively. In the mid lane, Selfie doing his best to continue to bully out. Small CS advantage, but not going to be too much here. Kold showing up not to gank, just to make sure his boy can farm. Make sure he gets a few more levels under his belt, because you talk about it, level 6, kind of a crucial moment. See if they want to continue the trade. Exileh does go in for a little bit more, but it doesn't look like any skill shots connect, so he has to go right back out as we look towards the bottom lane and towards Caedrel.
He wants level 6.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Nocturne.
But we know.
As an expert of playing with a Nocturne player from solo queue, typically not a lot will happen before that level 6 mark, because you're kind of missing a lot of mobility. Like, it's really hard for you to properly set up plays on your own with Nocturne.
That's why he needs a Zyra support, am I right?
I mean, hey, that's a snare right there. In that little montage we saw from Veddy in his little breakdown, there was a Zyra player in it, hitting some pretty good skill shots.
You may have heard of him, Season 3. Well, I'd call you a legend, but your team didn't win a lot in Season 3, sadly.
I was a legend of losing. I was one of those guys gifting out free wins to everyone else.
You were generous. You were thoughtful.
Yes.
That's what you were. You were a good Samaritan in the
I was
LCS.
already building player brands back then. Let's see what happens bot lane.
You are. Let's see what player brands get built today. Kold is just going to go right in on Promisq. You're not even interested in the Vayne. Samux is going to be in trouble. Does flash out to just make sure he can get to safety. Promisq wants to get it.
Oh!
And first blood for Samux. Nice plays coming in from the Unicorns of Love.
Damn, the only negative right there was the flash being used from Samux, but apart from that, there was actually almost a perfect setup to get the AD carry to kill. Nice play from Kold and Totoro here, setting it up. Sheriff is not scared to low HP targets, need to respect the full stacks. But as we saw early, with the Lulu backing up Sheriff, the laning phase is not a problem for H2k. Obviously, sadly, they now lost 2 summoners, plus gave up first blood to the enemy AD carry. Gank comes in, they pick onto the Lulu right here, and while this is actually fine, sadly now with the full stacks, it's really hard for him to actually dodge the last one, and he just dies.
Good tongue lash, good patience using you know, the W to pick up that kill in the end, and the trading in the mid lane continuing to get a little bit more aggressive, but Kold is here. 2 stacks.
Exileh no mana on his side. I think Kold was just here for backup. Like, let the man push out. Caedrel around.
Now could look to go for the 1v1. Knows that Exileh has to back. Instead, focusing attention on getting camps. More credence to that, trying to get level 6 mentality. Of course, already stole the Krugs away when Kold was spotted on the bottom side.
And that's actually a really fun thing about the current jungle meta is a lot of the junglers spike super hard on level 6, like Nocturne, you know, even a Sejuani, you can take a Gragas as well. Like, if you actually get the edge on getting fast to level 6 and you execute the first gank when the other guy is level 5, that can be such a huge advantage in getting the advantage for your laner. In this case here, with Caedrel now being level 5,
Ooh, last possible second. That's a feels bad man for Selfie.
no TP for Selfie. Exileh is already back in lane. That's gonna cost him. The entire wave's gonna get pushed in. Kold knows he can invade. So it doesn't even matter he lost his own Raptor camp. He's just getting the enemy one.
Yeah, gets it back, starts to catch up. You can see a CS advantage in the jungle. And Caedrel getting ever closer to that level 6 point. But the bottom lane remains a point of activity.
Exileh got 6 now.
That is crucial, Deficio, as he starts to move into the enemy jungle. Now that he has that, feels a lot more confident to push in. Knows the Orianna is back as well. So good vision setup for Unicorns of Love. The question, however, remains, Deficio, we've been talking about it since the game started. How do Kold and Exileh get these kills in the mid lane?
Well, I'm predicting an Exileh all in very, very soon. He went Sheen first, so he's sacrificed any sort of like extra durability just for more upfront damage. He has level 6, Ignite is ready. Sure, Selfie can use, you know, cleanse defensively, try and get out of some of it, but I can see Exileh trying really pressure for a solo kill, or at least a big summoner. And once that summoner is gone, Kold will show up with level 6. He just needs a couple of camps. So he's slowed down, because look who's level 6 on the other side.
Yeah.
It's my boy Caedrel.
Caedrel showing up now. You said, first ult, we got to keep our eyes. Where is he going to go? How is he going to make this impactful? Because once Kold catches up, they're going to be somewhat even in terms of relative ult impact. Caedrel timing the blue buff spawn, or rather the red buff spawn, as he does already have the blue. Keep going. And now Deficio, the ult game has begun. Level 6 in the tops lane as well. There's the all-in coming in from Exileh. Gets one, uses the ulti, second reset, has one more stack available. Selfie uses the cleanse already. Ulti comes out from the Nocturne. Looks like Defiant has already been used, bleeping out, but the fear is there. Caedrel wants a kill. Is he gonna get it in the end? Does take it down. Kold getting one right back. No level 6 for the re-engage. Is just gonna be the 1-for-1.
So almost everything we just talked about happened right there. all in from Exileh to try and blow summoners from Selfie, and then the faster level 6 from the enemy jungle is used to try and win the 2v2 skirmish from Caedrel bot side.
Sheriff now trying to disengage. Nice sidestep there. Does back off in the end, but Sheriff really suffering in the early laning phase. Doing good to keep even on CS, but you can see all-ins kind of across the board as we get closer to level 6. Surprised to see one from Unicorns of Love so early, but I guess don't want to wait for Vayne to get hers.
See what happens around the mid lane once again. This is the all-in, so stun lands, all-in, constantly use resets on your Q. Selfie actually did hold on to his cleanse until he saw the aggressive summoner from Exileh, and Caedrel does get a return kill, or does get the first kill, and obviously Kold gets the return. He's back towards the mid lane though. Exileh, if he's going all-in again when he sees no flash on Selfie, Caedrel is nearby,
and
at
you
least.
See, you see the pings going down in the area around
Kold.
the mid lane.
Kold needs to just go into mid lane, throw that ulti in Selfie's face. That's a kill, especially once Exileh's ulti is ready, but it's gonna be about a minute's time. Looking towards the top side. WhiteKnight with that level 7.
Smittyj thinks he's on an island right now, and WhiteKnight is going AP. Looks like Protobelt potentially first item. So they could just go for the all-in here. It is available. They could at least force a flash, but they're just going to back off and go back to the bottom lane, setting up vision for a later play here.
And this is where I would love control wards in these side lane brushes in the mid lane from Unicorns to deny this exact ward that now shows where Kold is. Like, he can still throw the ulti, but Caedrel is at the turret right behind Selfie, waiting for this to happen. So H2k have full information. I think
Promisq's here too. They're getting baited into this play. Caedrel's now coming in, but can they kill Selfie before anything else happens? Exileh gets pulled right back. Selfie not going to be able to make it out. Beautiful use of the Blade Surge to make it a 1-for-1 on what could have been a disaster for the Unicorns.
I think Caedrel's ulti, just when the fight started, was still on cooldown for like 1 or 2 seconds. It was ready during the fight. Obviously, Promisq. Was he level 6 during the exchange?
I do not believe so.
I have to assume he was not, otherwise he would have obviously used the ulti, because this was an entire, setup from H2k where they have full vision. Yeah, Promisq, as you guys can see, level 5 doing the whole thing, will get level 6 after killing 1 or 2 minions. Missing key things. Ulti from Lulu, ulti from Nocturne, bait almost worked.
So close. The damage reduction from the Irelia just not quite enough to burst through there on the side of Selfie, and now he's put himself in a bit of a tough spot. The CS game, still a little bit in his favor, but items are starting to come in for Exileh, a bit more attack speed as the Stinger's completed, and this gets scary as we get closer to Triforce. Now checking in on the bottom side, Martin, you want to know what the first item was going to be. It does look like Blade of the Rune King for Sheriff.
So not a huge surprise, just want to make sure that we get that build, because he's dealing with 4 tanks, or 4 bruisers slash tanks on the other side. Obviously with WhiteKnight's potential AP build, he's not going to be that tanky, but he can potentially one-shot a Vayne, which I guess is the best form of tankiness if you just kill the guy who's about to kill you.
Oh, he wants to go anti-tank build? I just won't build any tank items. I'll go full AP. Get countered, nerd. Classic. Love the logic there. Not something we always see in pro play, but could work out for WhiteKnight. We'll find out as a few more items get put up under his belt. First Dragon is going to get traded for the Rift Herald, and now someone can contest Caedrel, but it looks like for now they do have control of that pit. Arguable. Nice to have the Ocean Drake early on, but not going to mean too much.
I mean, if they can still get something on the bottom side, this could definitely be worth it. They're going straight for the bottom lane.
Sheriff now holding on to the CC,
smack.
but it's just too easy to kill the Lulu. The Wild Growth comes in. They don't even pay attention to the Vayne. Support in their sights. Unicorns of Love grab the kill.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, just try and make sure Promisq can never escape. I think he was looking for the ulti to hit Sheriff, and then he got smacked right in his face from Kold. So nice second gank on the bottom side. This has actually been a very successful early game from Kold again, I think we should say. I think actually at this point, like, if there's one player we can always praise is doing well early game, it is Kold specifically.
It has been a rock for the Unicorns of Love lineup. WhiteKnight, though, may be in trouble. Is he going to have to ult out to safety? Is he going to get the chance? Unstoppable force, but the Nocturne vault, the flash to save. Can he Q him for the movement speed? The sidestep! The sidestep! Oh, he wants the ground slam. Here comes Exileh. Caedrel! Oh,
He
God.
missed the Q on him!
Oh, no. That, my friend, is a tilter.
And WhiteKnight says, yeah, all due to my build. AP damage, even though I didn't ult anything.
Even though I hit one ability. Good sidestep on the Duskbringer, though. I want to see that again. That was actually pretty clean on the escape.
All right, so 1v1 fight. Caedrel's like not afraid at all. Waits with the ulti until he sees the ulti from the Malphite, and then look at the Q from Nocturne. Look at it.
Look at this.
Oh, he just stepped to the side, but also the Q was a little bit wide from the get-go.
Yeah, no. Sorry, buddy. Malphite's on that new diet program. The hitbox is shrinking every day. You can't get those free skill shots anymore.
Yeah, I mean, most of his is in the upper body, actually. So
his legs.
He got chicken legs.
Can't be hit. Caedrel.
Never skip leg day, Malphite.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at him. Tiny legs.
I never noticed it until you pointed it out, and now it's all I can see. Well, towers have gone down. Bottom side tower, a top side tower. So Unicorns of Love have shifted their bottom lane into the mid lane to try to pressure out Selfie. And you can see Exile's roaming. He's fighting back on some of these more aggressive plays. The question is, mid-game, how's it going to play out?
Yeah, that's actually where Vayne has a huge issue, because Blade of the Ruined King in itself is a fine first item, but it's not like a huge power spike for her, because she still needs so many more other items to kind of buff up the rest. And Storm Race on the other side is a much more powerful first item. Plus Samux is on 2 kills. So you can have this moment where H2k's Vayne is actually not that strong and gonna be almost a liability for a while. And Samux can just do whatever he wants with Totoro. And that obviously sets up the rest of the map because it's a Tahm Kench in the mid lane. What can you do? You can EDC the carry and boom, go to the side lane. So H2k is gonna be in a pretty tough spot for the next couple of minutes. Exile wants an all in.
Going in, has the Conqueror available, doing a good amount of damage. In comes the Tahm Kench. Exile doesn't need anybody else. The patience on the Blade Surge and the Sheen proc, or the Trinity Force proc, going in to close out the kill there.
That's why we do like to see the Irelia from Exile. It's actually been a very successful pick for him. The AP Malphite!
Oh, WhiteKnight has the ulti available. Oh! No! You just had to wait!
Can we replay it slow-mo that one? Just for the analysis.
And the tiny legs.
And the tiny legs. If he squatted some more, he could actually made it past the wall.
The good news is, Deficio, is that Unicorns of Love are still in the lead. Exile is still killing people across the map, and that means they're going to grab another tower. But a lot of mechanical fumbles this game.
Hey, it happens. I will give everyone at home some advice after this play in the bottom lane where Samux and Kold will not face check Caedrel.
I don't think Caedrel saw him either. Oh no, question mark.
There's no flash on WhiteKnight. Okay, let's get a slow-mo here.
One more.
So this is AP. Okay, here's the moment. Oh!
Ooh, why? How was that? Oh.
Even at so, we had the Nocturne mid guide from before. He's an AP Malphite guide. You gotta hit your ulti. It's a pretty big part of your damage.
Here's the thing. You would see Nocturne is a point and click, lower skill cap champion.
Right.
Malphite, Deficio, not a. You have to actually land it. It's a it's a skill shot.
You gotta land it. You're just Q spamming doesn't do that much.
You didn't see Vedius go up there with an AP Malphite mid guide, and that's why.
Right.
You can't point and click.
All right. So that was a bit unlucky. I think WhiteKnight just a little bit happy with the trigger there. Could have waited for the flash. Obviously, I think that was his initial goal, but then went a little bit too fast. Mistakes happens. Instead, we're looking at Caedrel, who's been trying to get hit on this Nocturne. Sadly for him, the last couple of minutes, no one from Unicorns have overextended when he was around.
And he was doing really well in the farm department, denying so many camps from Kold. But Kold, once his other laners got the backup they needed to push in, started taking camps back, has evened up the game, gave up a little bit early to get a little bit more now. And right here, 1.5k gold advantage for the Unicorns of Love. Mid lane tower seems to be set in their sights. They have to be careful, though. They are poised for a 3v3 or even a 4v3. Exile
good stun.
Looks for the disengage. Slaps that Tiamat down. Lets him know. Ready to fight. Totoro, though, is going to get feared up. The re-engage, though, is Kold wants to go right back in, but Smittyj is in the main. Oh, that's the 3-man! Oh, early game, but a wombo's coming out. Run, Exile. WhiteKnight is there. Might get a chance for redemption. Unstoppable Forces up in a second.
Come
He's
on,
gonna turn it around. He only gets one. He needs a little bit more. AP Malphite. Oh, Samux gets it down. Promisq now running for his life. Flashes out. It was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Well, that's the thing we talked about before. You know, the difference between AD carries, the Storm Racer.
Exile.
Exile.
One, getting the Q, the reset. Goes in. Exile is fearless. Deficio, this man just keeps diving towers.
And what actually happened when that fight started, Samux just solo killed Sheriff, like instantly. He's 2 levels above him at the moment. This Kai'Sa is so much stronger, and that's kind of a big problem for H2k. They really can't take fights if Samux is even nearby, because he will show up, and then he will pick up all the kills. Also Exile, I guess, on the Irelia.
Yeah, the 5-2, 163 CS to 148. A massive advantage to Exile, to be certain. And once again, a beautiful game from Kold thus far. Going bot lane to back up his team, going mid lane to back up his team. And this is what we wanted to see from Unicorns of Love for the vast majority of the season, which is their carries stepping up when given these advantages.
All right, 80 carry difference. Oh, he just knows he's coming from the earlier ward he saw. There was actually not a ward right there. It was earlier down the river, and he just kind of predicted where he would be. So that was a great play from Samux. And this is in the moment. Exile and the rest of the team Get engaged on. Great ulti from Smittyj. It's actually all perfect right now, but they lost the AD carry from before, and the AP Malphite without ulti shows up, and that's the scary one.
He gets it in the fight and uses it, Deficio.
One thing we gotta look for with AP Malphite with the Proto build is, does he get too close when he uses Proto build? Because that's the issue. If you're actually standing on top of them, most of the missiles ends up shooting kind of behind them.
I see what you're saying.
But if you have a little bit of distance, you can actually hit all of them onto a target.
So you ulti, you flash a tiny bit backwards, and then you proto belt.
You don't need to flash. You can just hit the ulti just at the edge, so that you don't actually end up on top of them, but right next to them, and then proto belt, if you want to make the perfect combo. There's also a chance you will just use it for mobility to get in range to ult. But that's the boring.
As sure as there is a Nocturne mid one trick in the studio, there has to be an AP Malphite one trick somewhere out there on the internet that can tell us the exact position for proto belt to make this work.
I am pretty confident that if he just hits the ulti on the edge, he's in almost perfect spot to hit the missiles from the proto belt.
Well, even if he doesn't, he does have a 4-0 Samux with 2 items completed.
Right, so maybe he's not that important in this game, but it's an AP Malphite with a proto belt, so we want to see it do something.
Absolutely do. And I think it's important that when we look at these teams, of course, they're not playing for playoffs, but we can talk about, I think, a lot of the players who have stood out individually. And I think in this game especially, Kold has been key.
Oh, Caedrel as well. But yeah, you're 100% correct. Just as we want to talk about Kold, fighting bot lane.
Oh. Going forward, Smittyj, is he going to try to disengage with the ultimate? Now the Nocturne is looking for the re-engage, but he's just a little bit too far behind. Can he get the auto down? Caedrel going out, unstoppable force, doesn't even need the proto belt. It might just come out here, goes in. Exile unstoppable. Kold doesn't even need to be a part of the plays anymore.
But if he was here, he would have done a great job as well. And that's why it's important to talk about Kold and how he's played so far during the season, because like in this game, he's actually been the person who set up everything in the early game, this time with Totoro, who, funny enough, spoiler, is actually our next graphic.
Our next player. This was your standout player. I picked 1-2, Totoro. He's not on the pike this time. That was the player that originally got me excited, the champion that got me excited about this guy, but he has looked good.
Yeah, Tahm Kench has been great for him right here. Sets up another play. I feel bad for Caedrel because once again, he's just trying to get himself ahead. He's in the lane where he's hoping, okay, if the Malphite's gonna show up, we 2v1 him down, we kill him so quickly, they can't react because there's Nocturne ult, but Totoro shows up, brings in Exileh, who's playing really well in this game, and Unicorns Aloft once again end up showing up with more members and secure another kill, but Caedrel was, you know, maybe the next guy we could talk about. I don't know if there's a graphic or not, maybe I'm just, you know, talking about Caedrel for nothing, but I feel like he's been one of the players to watch on it. Hey,
bam! He's your standout player. You knew there was a graphic.
Nah, they just made it right now. They're fast backstage.
And the reason we bring up Caedrel is that the team has looked much better with this guy in the jungle position. He's been pretty strong on an individual level. Great Kindred game from him. This game had a good, strong advantage. Did what he could to kind of build up himself while his teammates were suffering a little bit in the early lane.
Yeah, and his teammates had a lot of praise for him, saying like in the early game his communication was on point, and H2k, once he started playing for the team, actually did look better in the early game. You can obviously still criticize parts of the late game and so on, but early on they suddenly managed to get some advantages, and a lot of that came from Caedrel specifically. So he was in a tough situation joining a losing team already, but I think he's actually managed to do something with it.
And now it looks like Unicorns Aloft are going to do something with that lead that they've been building up. 4K, sight set on the Baron. 5K and dropping is the health bar. Don't know if H2k are going to be able to get here quick enough. They have the ball, they have the Nocturne ult. Smittyj coming in, not going to be able to steal, but now it's in the middle of the team. Caedrel just gets deleted immediately. Selfie looking for it. Ooh, the proto belt comes in. Good bit of damage there, but WhiteKnight not going to connect on the unstoppable force, but he is going to get pulled right back into the middle of the team. Shockwave comes in defensively, and now Kold going for the re-engage, and Unicorns Aloft just looking to clean up here. Sheriff is running for his life, but the Acathian Rain cutting through the health bar as Blade Surge is going to close it out, and Unicorns Aloft just looking for a clean sweep here. 4 to 15. Oh, there it is. Running him down. Flash forward. That's the double. That might just be all she wrote. Exile does not care about dying. He wants one more. Oh, sweet Lord.
Unicorns Aloft, man. They play some fun League of Legends when they go aggressive, and it works. Like in this one here, they started the Baron, they knew HK would show up, and they were ready not only to finish the Baron, but then turn and fight instantly.
we might just see a sub 25-minute game, but I think they are going to have to back off here. Still have the Baron buff, still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left of it, but they've already gotten an inhibitor. Things look good across the board. We'll take a look back at the play one more time, but
all right.
Unicorns Love kind of flexing here with that lead.
Well, Caedrel hoping he can maybe steal the Baron. He sees the ward come down from Smittyj, but slightly too late. He obviously dies. And then Malphite gets 3 flashes, but then the proto build hits everyone. Insane build from our good friend WhiteKnight, and that obviously then sets up a chase right after. And what do we have here? Is that a fed Kai'Sa and a fed Irelia? Well, you do not want to play against those champions when they're ahead, because they will just kill you extremely quickly. And Exileh and the rest of Unicorns Love managed to win another fight. Some smiles as well in the player cams
like
on one side.
It's like that scene in Jurassic Park where the raptors get out. You know, you're just like not getting away. You're just a poor man running for your life.
Well, it depends on who you are in the movie, because I feel like if you're one of the lead actors, you can effectively just walk away from a raptor and they will actually never catch you.
Oh no, sadly H2k does not have a lead actor in this game right now. They are the extras getting torn to pieces by the Raptors. Smittyj, though, he wants to rewrite the story. He's going to try to run, goes golden midair. Looks good. Cool.
I like it.
Oh, it
he's out.
saves him. That's a style play.
Everyone in here thought he was dead, but Smittyj had it all planned.
You almost remember this day. This is the day you almost killed Smittyj. I tried.
I think it was okay.
Yeah, we almost got the Pirates. I messed it up. All right. Unicorns Love looking to close this game out, of course. A very tense early game. Getting a lot of advantage here for Unicorns Love. They get the Baron, and now they're looking to close out. H2k could be the final stand here. 2 items for Sheriff. No Rage Blade. But the Phantom Dancer. This man wants to duel. This man wants to 1v1 up against the opposition. Reduce some of that damage coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, a Rage Blade would have been very expensive here for poor Sheriff, who obviously is not exactly getting access to that much farm, except for the super minions coming into his base, so maybe that is the strategy. It's actually an old classic we've seen before. Give up a bunch of inhibs, let the super minions show up in your base, and hope the enemy team stops pushing. Oh, they find Samux!
Samux. Oh, Caedrel is just going to cut him down immediately. It's too much CC to stop it, but Totoro is here. Promisq, run for your little Yordle life. There's a blast cone, but he just can't take it. Oh, poor H2k. They get 1, they lose 1.
Yeah, but that was good, because they got an 800 goal shutdown for Caedrel specifically. The guy we had the graphic for.
That is true. We did have a graphic for him, and now...
It's important he's doing well in this game.
Closer to Duskblade, closer to one-shotting 80 carries, as Vedi has promised. It may not be a mid-lane Nocturne, but it's still got a lot of damage. Just wants to rinse and repeat that play, taking out Samux before the fights come out. And Sheriff, the more time he gets to farm, we have to remember, Deficio, last time this was played, H2k just took it as late game as it can possibly go, and Sheriff's Vayne mechanics won out the day. And if Unicorns Love don't have the Baron buff anymore, do have 2 inhibitors. If they can't get the 3rd inhibitor, Deficio, if they wait 10 minutes, maybe 15, Sheriff could kill everybody.
If H2k can win a fight right here, right now, I can start believing. If they don't, however, I think it's just no chance. Let's see Smittyj
knocking WhiteKnight into the middle of the team.
Oh,
the alley-oop from Smittyj. That is not how we wanted this to end. Exileh looking to cut him down. Ignite ticking. Wants 1 more on the back of Promisq. A clean sweep from the Unicorns Love. We needed 15 more minutes for H2k to get back hope. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time around. TP being used just to get a little bit closer to the minions, a little bit faster. And Unicorns Love now looking to close it out. Move themselves up to 6-11. Close out the end of their season in style. Even if they can't make the playoffs, at least they're making it look good.
Nice game as well from a lot of the players, showing a lot of individual skill. Exileh getting ahead there on the Irelia. Kold setting up the bot lane with Totoro for Samux. Clean game.
Very clean in the end. Unicorns Love, 6-11, moving up. I think at the end of the day, if you have to go out, that's exactly how you want to go out. Individual stylish plays, setting up your lanes for success from the jungler, getting Gnar back into the enemy team so you can Malphite ult 2 people. Dream finish.
Yeah, you want to show good League of Legends for all the fans watching. Obviously in this case here, and if you are Unicorns Love, I think the only funny thing they tried to do was the AP Malphite, which ended up winning. It was part of the win. It wasn't a reason. But it was there.
I love the double for those wondering at home if you want to try the AP Malphite, WhiteKnight's signature AP Malphite, I should say. Morel and Omicron after the Proto Belt, along with Sword Shoes, as much flat pen as possible. Your job, killing squishies. So, worked out well for them in the end, and I think both these teams, you know, playing out the rest of the season, trying to enjoy it as much as possible, trying to learn as much as possible, and show off on stage where they can. Had that from Exileh and Samux without a doubt.
I'm just looking at damage done here to see. Obviously Exileh #1, 17,000 on his side. Samux #2 and #3 is actually not the AP Malphite. It was Smittyj on the Gnar. Got enough time.
Are you telling me the AP Malphite who hit one man ult and one 2-man ult didn't do the most damage?
It was a little bit unfair because people flashed away from it.
He did get triple flash, which was great.
That would have been a lot of damage. Probably put him next to the Gnar, at least.
I have no idea how much AP Malphite damage does. I haven't played against one in like 3 years, so...
I mean, if you hit 3 people with it into maybe that insane protocol I set up before that never really happened, I could see it deal a lot of damage.
All right. Well, it was an exciting game for sure. Let's check out a couple of the highlight plays that really define this game. Ooh.
Oh, this was...
This was the best. If this isn't on Reddit, I'll be so sad.
So this was great from Caedrel until the Q incoming here. Oh, okay.
Ooh, the top-down view. The cinematic angles.
A slight sidestep into Irelia getting killed. This is unfair for WhiteKnight because he needs to deal damage to get the numbers going. And then people flash. That's just not fair. Into Protobell E, however, took Promisq down to 50%.
And you have to remember, Malphite was made, I think, before the era where you could use flash to extend a lot of those abilities.
Oh, yeah.
Because then it would have just been 3-man
like almost an instant animation happening.
Yeah, it'd probably be broken. So good that they don't have that. Exileh, I love watching how this guy uses Blade Surge, the Q, because he's so patient when he has only one charge left, right? When he's used both resets and he just sits and waits, and you see that flash come out, and you know that they're dead. In this case, you thought Exileh was dead.
So good.
But nope, Tahm Kench. Wholesome champion, folks.
This might be the last patch you can do this.
Ooh, true. Sad days as the nerfs come in for 8-16 for Tahm Kench. Well, we've got WhiteKnight, Exileh, and Samux as your options for player of the game. Hit us up at LO Esports on Twitter with your pick.
I'm going WhiteKnight.
AP Malphite, he got 3 flashes. How many did Exileh get? Nobody knows.
Exactly. There was that one moment in near the mid lane I think we all forgot about.
Oh, that's true.
To be fair, you needed to ult that wall.
He needed to.
Yeah.
That wall had been disrespecting him. He doesn't take crap from no wall. All right. Well, for more insight on Unicorns of Love win, let's check in with Laure and their top laner, WhiteKnight. Hi, WhiteKnight.
Thank you very much, Drakos. AP Malphite indeed. So now the caster mentioned it. What can you tell me about this pick? Why did you choose to go with Malphite today?
I actually practiced a lot of Malphite in scrims, AP and tank, and they banned my cannon, so I just went with the Malphite, and we needed some magic damage, so.
What is strong about this pick?
I mean, the ult is, of course, like, insanely strong, right? But after that, after you use your ult, you're completely useless, kind of. So it's kind of like a coin flip champion, you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah, you made a good use of it here. Now, taking a step back a bit, you guys have one game left. So what was your mindset going on stage this week, knowing that there will be no implications at all in the standings for you guys?
I mean, our mindset was still to try as hard as we can. So all the fans and viewers would get a good game. And of course, we would want to end the season on a win against Fnatic and H2k. So we just put all our effort, and we just wanted to win really hard.
I understand that. Now, you mentioned the fan. I talked to Kold about your fans last week. They're here. We see them today. So is there anything you'd like to say to them? Because they've been here the whole year supporting you guys every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's really special that you guys come every day in LCS. And it's just like, I'm really, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
The Love Horse crew. Well, thanks to the Love Horse crew, and thank you, WhiteKnight, for joining me today. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be Schalke 04 versus Splice. Don't go anywhere.
I think Promisq's here too. They're getting baited into this play. Caedrel's now coming in, but can they kill Selfie before anything else happens? Exileh gets pulled right back. Selfie not going to be able to make it out. Beautiful use of the Blade Surge. Ult out to safety. Is he going to get the chance? Unstoppable force, but the Nocturne vault, the flash to save. Can he Caedrel? Q him for the movement speed. The sidestep! The sidestep! Oh, he wants the ground slam. Here comes Exileh. Caedrel! Oh, God.
He missed the Q on him.
4 to 15. Oh, there it is. Running him down. Flash forward. That's the double. That might just be all she wrote. Exileh does not care about dying. He wants one more.
No catch. I see Smittyj.
Knocking WhiteKnight into the middle of the team. The alley-oop from Smittyj. That is not how we wanted this to end. Exileh looking to cut him down. Ignite ticking. Wants one more on the back.
Head there on the Irelia. Kold setting up the bot lane with Totoro for Samux. Clean.